Hi guys, today I'm here with Alicia Still.
Hi.
From So What Alicia, and we are going to show you how to put together this awesome skull quilt block. Hey guys, today I'm here with my friend Alicia, and she is going to show us how to make this really cool skull quilt block. It's really, really fun. I know it might look scary to a few of you because it is some paper piecing, but tell us about it, Alicia. Is it really scary?
It may seem scary, but I promise I will break it all down for you step by step on the blog and here as much as I can, and I know you can do it. This is not... could be much scarier, let's say that.
So I really think that if you have not had a chance to work with this and you're an intermediate and you've been paper piecing for a while, this is your next step.
Yes.
So, and this is all done in my newest fabric line, Eek Boo Shriek for Riley Blake, and which came out this year. This is 2017 if you're watching this later on. And Alicia, tell us how we need to get started here.
Okay, first thing to get started is on the blog I have the pattern. And so you'll print it out. You'll want to print out print out the paper that has the look of the block, and you're going to grab your colored pencils and you're going to just color in the colors that you want depending on what fabrics you're using.
Okay, this is the fun part to me because we're just
Yes.
going to color it.
I know,
Super
let's color,
easy.
right? It's so fun.
Super duper easy. So I would say, don't you think they should print out maybe two?
Maybe two, yeah. Print them out, and because you want one maybe without all the colors to know what all the pieces look like.
Okay, cool. So they've printed it out. Then what do they do next?
Next step is you're also going to print out the pattern, and I like to use, lots of people use paper, it's called paper piecing, but I like to use this, which is, it's easy print quilt sheets, and I'll link to it in the blog tutorial so you can find them. But it's nice because it's not paper and you don't have to take it out at the end. You can leave it, and it kind of acts as a stabilizer interfacing to make the skull a little bit more stable.
I love that. I think that makes it way easier. And I can't believe you
too.
just print it through your printer.
You print it right in the printer.
So amazing.
So nice.
Look how cool those are. And do you color these as well?
Yes, I'll color these. So you'll cut them out. You'll go ahead, take your scissors. The great thing about this, no rotary cutters for this pattern, which is awesome, right?
Scissors.
Take your scissors and cut out the pieces. That's going to take you a minute. I like to do it in front of the TV. So cut all your pieces out. And then
Okay, so here, this looks like a lot of pieces, you guys. But once you've colored it and you've laid it out for yourself, and we're not going to lay it out today because you're going to be able to do it, it gives you a seam allowance, right?
It gives you, the dotted line here is a seam allowance. So you'll use that. And when you're covering with fabric, you're going to cover the whole thing all the way to the seam allowance. That way you won't have anything showing.
So we're going to show you how to put together one of these pieces so that it's super easy for you to do, okay? So we're going to move all these pieces out of the way. This is a matter of persistence. They're small pieces, but if you do them individually, it's not so bad. So this is the piece we're going to start with.
Okay.
And we have two fabrics we're going to work with here.
So the main tip is more is better, right? It's always better. When you're doing this, you don't want to try and be too precise and cut the pieces to be super small to fit. Just cut them a little bit bigger. It'll save you a lot of headache, and you'll feel much better in the end.
Okay, so we're going to cut one of these.
Okay.
Let's move this fabric out of the way for you. There you go.
So you'll want to take, with the fabric face down, you'll also want your pattern to be face down because that's how you're going to sew it. So you just go ahead, and like I said, I like to do a fair amount of excess. So you'll just go ahead and cut it out. It's not really precise, which is another thing I like about this. You don't have to be super precise. So now we've got the piece cut, you can see. And you can see, you're still on the back, but you can see through to where everything is going to be, which is great. You don't have to do any flipping or try and figure out where things are. That's the other thing I like about these sheets is they're see-through.
We have this little tiny piece, which seems a little bit scary.
Yes.
But once again, the more is better rule.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be scared. I know it looks small.
It looks tiny.
It looks tiny, but the main thing you want to do is cut yourself a nice big chunk of fabric, because if you cut it too small, you're going to be frustrated trying to get it to fit exactly on.
So
I like to cut a big square.
So I was going to say, so we don't have to cut this precisely, right?
No.
I can just cut a big chunk of fabric.
That's perfect. Okay. So then that big chunk is perfect. So now you're going to line it back up right like this. And then you want to get a little bit of an idea where your number 2 is. And then you'll just line this up. Okay, now that you've got the fabric where you want it, you're going to turn it over and take your pin and pin directly along the line. There we go. And then when you flip it back over, you can see that you've got it all where you want it, and you're going to know this is where it will press.
Because you can flip it back and you're going to know if it's really, really messed up
now
or not.
you know if it's in the right spot.
Okay, so should we sew this piece
Let's
on?
sew it. All you do is
Can I sew it from this side?
Yep, sew it from that side.
Okay,
You just put it down.
That's pretty fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick sewing along that line.
Yep, just along the solid line.
And do I need a back stitch?
Not really, no, because we have that allowance built in.
Okay, so that's almost easier than regular piecing, you guys, because we're just following that line.
Follow the line, yep.
Super easy. Okay,
yep.
So now what?
Now that we've got that sewn on, we'll flip it over, and you see we have some extra here, and because of all the seams, there's going to be bulk. So you want to just trim this off a little bit.
And you're using scissors again.
Scissors again, no rotary cutters, isn't that nice? So you trimmed it off. Then you'll go ahead and just press.
And we're not going to press today because we don't have our iron out.
Yeah.
But after that, you're just pressing out, turning it around, and then trimming it?
Yep. Well, before you trim, what I like to do is, and I'll show you in the pieces that I've done, is do another, flip it over again, and you're going to do a stitch inside. It's basically an 1/8 inch seam allowance off of the straight line.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So that everyone can see how cool it is. And maybe find one that we can show them.
Okay, I'll show you the one we've got.
So only an 1/8.
Just an 1/8, yeah, right in between the dotted line, the dashed line, and the straight line.
Which is super nice because you have that pieced thing that you're already printing. So you're just following it. It's not like...
It's already got a guide on it. Yeah, you're not... We've done all the work for you.
One more, guys.
Yep, we're almost there. It really, I mean, and once you can kind of do them all together. I like to do that. So I'll have all the pieces with everything on, and then I take them all and put them all through and do this little extra seam. It just holds the fabric in place really nicely and makes it easier to...
Now, what if you screw up, like, I'm kind of screwing up because this is a far away sewing machine.
I sew like this, too. Like
so kind of far. So it's not exactly perfect.
It's totally fine.
That's not the point.
Nope, that's not the point. The point is just to keep the fabric down so when you put your pieces together, it's not wonky.
And it's probably, I'm guessing, better to sew closer actually to the outside because you're probably sewing...
Yep, you're going to sew along this line eventually.
Yeah, so you just don't want to see it. So now do we just trim this down?
Now you just trim.
I'm going to let you do that, Alicia.
Now you trim around. And it doesn't have to be super precise here either. And then we've got the finished.
Okay, so that didn't take that long.
No.
So I think once you've put them all together, I mean, like individually, like, kind of just getting them all together.
Yep.
I'm like actually really excited because I'm thinking I'm making a big one.
Yeah, you can make it bigger for sure. And it doesn't take that long. I mean, just finding the right fabric and cutting it out. Each piece just takes a few minutes.
Okay, I love it. Okay, so let's see what it looks like once we've done this to every single one of the pieces.
Once we've got all our pieces, it looks something like this.
And it looks
crazy.
It looks crazy, but it really, I mean, we just did this.
Right.
We just did this one piece right here.
Yep.
And that really wasn't too bad.
Okay, so now once you've made all your pieces, you're ready to put them together.
Cool.
So on the blog, there's a step-by-step instructions because you want to put them together in a specific order.
Okay, so I can't just like sew this all together for the...
No.
Okay.
You want to do them in a specific order.
Go to the blog.
Yeah, because it could be confusing. So my big tip, because diagonals can seem confusing and scary, is you're not going to sew on this outer seam allowance. You're not going to line the pieces up with the outer seam allowance. Use your straight line to line things up. That's the best way to make sure everything's straight. That's where you really want it to line up, is on the straight line, not on your seam allowance.
And so these are the first two.
These are the first two. Yeah,
so A and G.
A and G will go together.
And you're going to fold it over so they're right sides together.
Right sides together. And then I like to take my pins. This is my favorite thing to do, and it helps so much. Take your pins and stick it on the solid line on the corner.
Okay, so not the dotted line.
Not the dotted line.
And then, look at that.
Yeah, see, it would have been so crooked if I had left it that way. So we want to then take it out and just line it up so that it's corners together. And do the same thing with your other corner. And make sure you're lined up.
Guys, I only keep pink pins because pink pins make you happy.
I know, aren't they awesome? And then then you can put this in so it stays there.
Okay, so you've put Three, basically three
Basically
pins.
three, but you
But
can
what
take
about
those
these
out.
two?
These ones you can take out now that you have the piece lined up.
Okay, so
and
that
you're
you're
ready to
safe,
sew.
and then you're going to sew right across.
The straight line.
Now tell me
the
this.
solid line.
Are we backstitching at all?
You don't need to backstitch. Nope.
We're okay. So we're just going to go straight across all the way.
Straight across.
Open it up, iron it, and then how are we going to iron it?
You're going to press the seams open.
Okay. So, and why are we pressing them open?
Because there can be a lot of bulk with the paper or the quilt sheet and all the fabric. So just press it open to kind of cut down on that bulk.
Okay, that's really cool. So then you're just going to finish sewing all of this out.
Yep.
And it looks like this at the end.
Yep. Then the finished, it'll look like this.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys the back of this because there is quite a bit of bulk,
There's some
especially
bulk.
because we're basically keeping this interfacing type piece in there. But I actually think it keeps it together better, especially because you've got a lot of tiny pieces.
A lot of seams,
yeah. So, and so I like you can see where she's pressed it open here, and I think that that's worked out really, really nicely.
You probably wouldn't want to do a full quilt. I mean, you could if you were ambitious, but the full quilt, it would probably not lie very well when you went to quilt it, just with a few bumps. I would use it for like a pot holder or a table runner, something small.
Okay. Something really fun. A really fun mini.
A fun mini.
The other thing you could do is blow up the pattern.
Yep.
Right? And make it really, really big and do like a really big skull. How fun would that be in the boys' room?
If you blow it up, that would be so fun in boys' room. If you blow it up, these 1/4 inch seams aren't going to be right. So just make sure you measure your 1/4 inch seam after you blow up the pattern.
Any other tips for us?
I don't think so. You can do it. I know you can. It's really not as hard as it looks, and it takes a seam ripper, but you'll get there.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Make sure and check out Alicia's blog.
SewWhatAlicia.com. You can find the pattern and the link to all the supplies that we used today.
And make sure and subscribe to this YouTube channel so we can get more fabulous fabric videos. And make sure to like this video and let us know if you have made this cool block. Okay, this is take 1 of the inside portion of the skull quilt block tutorial. So we're going to show you.
We'll do one.
I'm going to have to look at the camera. I looked up there for that. Oh. Let me start. Oh, this has been going this whole time? That was awesome. Dude, what? Oh, it fell! Okay, we're take 1. Today I'm going to show you. Well, I'm not going to show you. Alicia's going to show you. Okay, ready? I will do. Wait, how am I starting this? See, this is what happens every single time. Take 4. That's it.